all of this to say is for all of you out there who aren't only children, this is what we missed out on, apparently. This right here, having parents.
Wait, you never won a sword at a raffle?
No, I never won a sword at a raffle. Oh. Hey, welcome back to the Stories on Tape podcast. I'm your host, Josh Robinson, and today's storyteller. One, we spent a lot of time in a renovated newsstand in Times Square together. We're going to get into that. Two, if you need a fight to look good on stage, you found your girl. And three, she's a Scot. It's Mackenzie Grace, everyone.
Hi.
I think I summed up our friendship, and that's all.
Yeah.
I did it.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for that introduction.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. I think for clarification, since you can tell by my accent, I would like to clarify my father is Scottish. I was born in America, raised here. But my father is born and raised in Glasgow. So he's the one that sounds cool. Not me.
He does.
Tragic.
Have I met him?
I don't think you have.
Unless he came to the booth. Am I wrong?
He has come to... Okay, he came to the booth, but I think it was before you worked there.
Okay. Then...
The booth is the booth in Times Square.
Correct. We're going to get into all of this, but before we get into all of our fun, crazy stories, do you have a story that you can share that tells us a little bit about who Mackenzie is if we've never met you before?
Yes. I feel like I'm going to cough every 2 seconds. I'm so sorry.
It was the Statue of Liberty raising of the microphone for me.
It's a great question. I don't know if this is like a story with beginning, middle, and end, but I can tell you about something I did as a child.
Please.
I'm an only child. I have too much energy.
As you'll see, I'm sure.
My dad loves soccer, football.
Football.
You know,
yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna keep off in the air. It's disgusting. And so my parents put me in soccer, like when I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or something like that. And my dad was like the assistant coach of our teeny little thing. I walked around, holding hands with one of the other kids instead of playing. I crushed my father's heart, soul, and dreams of me being a football player. And I have one of my earliest memories.
I love this.
Yeah, you didn't know my athletic.
I didn't. I could have guessed, but I didn't know.
Oh, thank you. One of my earliest memories is sitting in the kitchen, and I remember sitting on the counter for some reason.
Okay.
Probably because I was like, 2 feet tall.
And you're what, 3 now? So.
Correct. And I'd recently discovered something called Drama Kids.
Oh.
And my parents were like, hey, you can do Drama Kids, but just so you know, the way that like time works, you little child, is that you're going to have to quit soccer for Drama Kids. And I went, yeah.
Next.
And they were like, no, just to confirm, like, you're going to have to quit soccer for Drama Kids. And I said, uh-huh. So that's how everything started. And I think that wasn't even what I was initially going to tell you.
What were you going to initially tell me? That is the perfect Mackenzie story.
Thank you. I feel like that really, really kind of sums
Absolutely.
it up. I'm so sorry. Keep coughing. But anyway, so then, and then they were like, we got to shove this kid in dance. And apparently I didn't like ballet when I was super little, so took me out of that. But then I got to elementary school, and my elementary school had after school programs, and one of them was Irish dancing. And so my first dance style was Irish dancing, soft shoe only. And and then there is a Scottish restaurant in town, which we did know the owners.
Sure.
I think they've since sold it, and now they own a brunch place.
Okay.
But anyways, shout out to that restaurant. Shout out to them. We love them. And yeah, one day we were there, as we were, and a couple bagpipers came in, and I was like, I don't know, 6. Oh no, I can't believe it.
Tell the story.
I was just gonna say 6 or 7 years old, but I think that's like dangerous to say in front of the youth nowadays.
I see.
I was somewhere in that age range.
She was 6 years old.
I was 6 years old. And my little obnoxious ass got up and just started Irish dancing to the Scottish music. Incorrect. Wrong. That's wrong. And afterwards they were like, they came up to my parents and they were like, hey, here's our business card. We have a pipe and drum band, and like if we'd love a little dancer. And I was like, oh, sold. So my first dance was Irish dance, but then the one I did for the majority of my childhood was Highland dancing or Scottish dancing. And I did Irish dancing, passed off as Scottish dancing. Again, wrong. Please don't come for me. Cancel.
We know it's wrong.
For like at least a year. And then they got a Highland dance teacher, and then other people joined. And so I learned the Scottish sword dance and the Highland fling. So the Scottish sword dance, so from about age, 8 or something like that, I have owned a sword. And I think that maybe has influenced my love for fight choreography, because I've always owned a sword. It's like a super dulled down thing, but you carry it, sword up and sheath down, and then you like, wow, I should give a demonstration.
Listen, we can film it after. We can put this in post. Yeah, we'll get this in post.
Okay, great. I'll find something. And you lay it down like a little plus sign, and then you dance over it. And there's two stories for more stories. There's two stories about the origin of the Scottish sword dance. Well, in general, it was done surrounding battle. So story one is that it's done before battle, and if you kick the sword, because you put the sword down first and then the sheath on top, and if you kick the sheath right, it'll just spin like a top. LOL. So you're not supposed to do that. Okay. And then, so if you kick the sword, it was bad luck in battle. If you didn't kick your sword, it was good luck before battle. The other story is that the Scots would win and then take their enemy's swords and then dance over them as like a haha, fuck you, I'm dancing over your sword. Yeah.
So which one did you believe? Or they both like believed and it just...
Yeah, I think it's just like you just kind of hold them both.
I see.
Two things can be true
How often did you kick the sheath or sword?
Oh, that's a really rude question to ask. And I think...
Please don't take that out of context. Please don't take it out of context.
I'm kidding. Obviously, all the time I was a child learning how to dance.
I see.
Yeah, every so often, but like you just gotta jump over it. You just gotta jump over it.
Keep going. Hip hop. Hippity hop.
Yeah. I don't know, like not more or less than anyone else.
When was the last time you would say you did this sword dance?
That's a great question. I recorded it for a self-tape.
Yes, you did.
A couple of years.
Yeah, you did.
I'm trying to think. Oh, probably more embarrassingly. That one's not embarrassing. You know, you got to do what you got to do. I will say one thing is it's about 3 minutes. The way that it works. Wow, we're
diving in. We're diving in.
The way that it works is that there's 3, I think they're called steps, but it's like 3 phrases, and it's like 4 musical phrases into one.
Okay.
Like one, and you do one loop around the sword.
And that's one musical phrase, or is that?
Well, there's like 4.
Gotcha.
But yes, one
completes
this kind of circle.
Okay.
So that's step 1, and then there's 3, and usually what happens is, between the second and the third one, you clap, and that signifies to the bagpiper to speed up. So you do the third one faster.
Yes.
So, but there's 3 steps, and that's like what you would perform. But there are like, I don't know. Do not fact check me on this.
Approximately.
There's maybe like 8 or 9 like steps that exist out there, and so like if you went to a Highland dance competition, which I got an offer to do, someone tried to recruit me to compete, and I said no because it conflicted with theater.
And as it always does.
Sorry,
I have rehearsal.
So yeah, I can't have rehearsal. Like, literally, yes, exactly that. Yeah, and so if you go to a competition and you watched, you would probably see, like, maybe you'd see one person doing steps 1, 2, and 5, but you might see someone else doing steps 1, 2, and 6 or something. Usually the first one's all, like, pretty much everyone always does the same one, but there's some variety in it. I do not know a variety. I only know the 3 I was taught. I don't know which numbers they are. But yeah, and then... Oh no! What else was I gonna say about that? Huh?
I don't know. Competition. 1 steps.
Oh, I had recorded.
Oh yes, you recorded.
Oh, okay.
For the self-tape.
But basically it's like 3 minutes worth of a dance.
Okay.
And then the second bit you speed up, and you're jumping,
Right.
And I realized I didn't have the stamina for that because I used to do this. Like, it was like every Sunday I would have this dance rehearsal. So like once a week I was doing this multiple times as a child. And like now today I like have lost that stamina to like do it. So I recorded like part of it and put it in a self-tape. They didn't even email me back. Classic. It's fine.
Incredible.
But whatever. So embarrassingly, I will say, I was at a New Year's Eve party this past year at New Year's Eve, as one can imagine, as by the title of the party. And we had, I think I've been to this group of friends who posted like twice. A lot of fun. A lot of it's like my college friends, 10 out of 10. But they like to have a little game, which is also very entertaining.
Sure.
I forget what the first year was that I went to, but the second year, I'm so sorry.
You're fine. Winter in New York City, everyone.
And
just Mackenzie in general, but
oh, thanks.
She's gonna leave now.
Canceled.
Goodbye.
Wait, we have to take a sip of water, actually.
Oh, good. I should have offered you water when you walked into my apartment, and I didn't.
You didn't.
I didn't. I'm a terrible host.
I had to go to the sink myself.
Did you get it out of the sink?
I did.
Oh, there's a pitcher in the fridge.
I saw that, but I'll drink tap water. You know what I mean?
Okay, great.
I was like, because then if I drank your filtered water, I'd have to replace it, and I was like, I didn't want to do that.
Oh, so she's just lazy.
Correct. I didn't want to go to the effort when I could just drink tap.
Listen, growing up in Memphis, we have great tap water. Apparently, that's one thing Memphis is known for. And so I've drank tap water my whole life. And the tap water here is not bad. Like, I very much enjoy it.
Yeah, the tap water is just great.
It's great.
I grew up in Sarasota/Bradenton, Florida. You could not drink the tap water.
I see.
But also, but we had a fridge that had the little... Yeah, we were fancy.
One day. We'll be adults again and have that.
One day I'll have a dishwasher.
Say that. Put that into the atmosphere.
I'm sending out good vibes. But yeah, actually, my friend asked me this other day about this. Do you know the little oats overnight?
Oh yeah,
things?
yeah.
I have one of those.
Oats. Yeah.
With the little shaker, and she was like, is that dishwasher? Like, do you put that through your dishwasher? And I was like, girl, I don't have one.
I am the dishwasher.
We're in New York. Okay, so
yes, I'm holding up, and I have a question, but you go first. You go first. Your story, New Year's Eve.
Oh my god,
game.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a game. So I think what this game was like, you could get like little slips of paper, and like they had little tasks on them, and then you could get points and stuff, which was fun. And then I think that might have been unrelated, or it might have just been like all part of the points, because there was a section. They were like, if you have like a weird little talent. They were like, you get 30 seconds. I was like, and I couldn't figure something out. And I was like, I do have a weird little talent. And so I pulled up the one recording on YouTube that if you don't have a live bagpiper, you can use. I mean, there's many, but that's the one I use. Used to own that on Apple Music. Probably still do.
I'm sure you do.
I think I do.
Yep.
And then I did like the first step over like, I think I don't even know if I might have did it over like utensils, but which obviously you can't see the whole sword, so I just kind of looked dumb. I won though, so not the whole game, but I won
those points.
I think or maybe I don't know. I placed. I don't remember. Maybe that was. Don't fact check me on this. I might not have won. I think I definitely placed.
If you were at the party and you remember, let us know.
Please let me know.
Speaking of parties,
yes.
Mackenzie and I worked together. Technically still at Broadway Up Close. Woo! Shout out, love them. Green Team, if you're in New York, go see them.
Times Square.
Corner of 45th and Broadway, 45th and 7th.
Between 44th and 45th on 7th/Broadway, on the side of the road in front of the Popeyes.
Find the Popeyes and McDonald's in Times Square. You will find the green booth.
Exactly.
Mackenzie was invited to a birthday party, and the theme was middle school talent show.
Oh my God!
And so Mackenzie and I sat in the booth while building things and trying to come up with her talent. And Mackenzie, what did you do?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Josh. Thank you so much for this. I would have forgot about this. So when let's throw it back a little bit.
TBT.
TBT. When I was in 7th grade, my math department decided to have a little pie day competition. You got a little fly.
Sorry, there's a bug. There we go.
I was gonna say you could eat it, but that would be a weird thing for me to say. You get the cat to eat it.
Grayson.
I don't know where he went.
He's in his carrier now. He's over us. He's like, they're just yelling at each other. Go away.
He doesn't care. So Okay, so they had a little competition.
Mm-hmm.
So this was in 2012 when I was 12 years old, and the prize was a $50 iTunes gift card, which was,
Huge.
$1,000
Back then.
when you're 12 years old, in 2012. So,
Sorry, I'm just gonna turn myself down a little bit. Continue.
why didn't you do that earlier?
Because I just wanted to make sure people hear me. I must be heard. Sorry. Continue.
No, it's like
7th
valid.
grade, 12-year-old,
Yeah. So
playing for this $50 iTunes gift card.
yeah. So the competition was to memorize as many digits of pi as possible.
Yeah, it was.
Now I've never backed down from a challenge a day in my life.
And so what did you do?
I memorized 206 digits of pi, and I won the gift card.
Yeah, you did.
And second place memorized about 70 digits
I
of
was
pi.
going to ask, what was the next closest?
I doubled them.
Yeah, you did. More than. Almost tripled.
Yep. So, yeah, I got to buy a lot of things with that, which is great. And bragging rights. Not that I bragged about it, because it's like, that's a insane thing to brag about.
Sure, but
But it's a great fun fact for this
absolutely.
podcast. But yeah, so I did that, and then just like how, like, both of us will know the Pledge of Allegiance until
The day we die.
the day you die.
Right.
There's about 40 or 50, somewhere around that range, of those digits that are in my head until I die. And the rest of them I've lost to win.
Right.
But I had this party coming up. It said middle school talent. And you had to either do a talent, or you could sign up to like be someone's like spokesperson, or be like the hype man or something. But I was like, I have to do a talent. This is all theater kids, obviously. This party is
Obviously.
obviously all theater
You're
kids.
not going to give an opportunity to be on stage. What do you mean?
Of course.
No.
So, and they were like, this should be like a talent, like something you would do in middle school. And I was like, okay. But I did text, you had to sign up for, also they were organized. You had to sign up, there was a Google form, and you had to sign up. And they were like, tell us your talent. If you're going by like a name, like if you want to have a name for your act. Do you need anything? Like, so I requested that someone pull up, like on a computer, digits of pi, and then it doesn't face me, it faced the audience, so they could fact check me. They could see it, that it was real, and that I wasn't just, spouting off garbage.
Right.
Like I do in the rest of my life. And et cetera, et cetera. And so, and I also like wrote either in that note or I texted one of them separately, and I was like, by the way, I know this seems like a crazy thing, but like I memorized 200 digits of pi in middle school. So I think for elementary school, like as 5th grade, let's say, it would be reasonable for me to memorize 100.
Sure.
And they were like, okay. I think I got second place for that.
Who got first? Do you remember?
I think they were musicians, and they were good, and I love them all. So I can't. But yeah, because a lot of people were, or some people were playing like, we had several recorders out, which was very funny.
Of course.
But some people were like playing the recorder badly. But even though they have the talent to do more, and I still appreciate that. But I was told that I did something that would actually maybe be done as an elementary schooler.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really fun. And I just, I only had to memorize like 50 more.
I love this.
Which have since fallen out of my head
Oh
again.
yeah, they're gone again. But
Yeah.
I got to help come up with this idea, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it.
You're
I
welcome.
literally couldn't have done it without you. I think I actually stood there and I was like, credit to Josh.
I'll take it. I wasn't there, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's stay on Green Team. Let's stay on Broadway Up Close. So that's how we became besties for the resties. I started the end of April, I believe, this year.
I believe you.
And like we just ended up having a ton of shifts together very early on, and like. Yeah. I have 3 little sisters, and you are the age of one of my sisters, which is so weird to me. Like, that doesn't compute, but it's fine. And we just, like, clicked. Yeah. It just, like... So I remember early on one day, you had an interaction with a customer.
Yes.
And, like, I think the next day, she came back. We were sitting in the booth.
I had an interaction with the customer when you were not there.
Okay.
Yes. Also, for context, the shifts are, like, 3.5 to 4 hours. But if you work a double, you work either 7...
Yes.
Like it's 7 or 8 hours. So sometimes it was literally just the 2 of us in like in like a teeny little box for 8 hours.
Yep.
It was great.
Yep. And this woman,
Yeah. I want to hear let's get your sense.
Yeah. So, and the booth is like open, like it's just a giant when it's
like a little puppet thing.
Yeah. Like
we've had people come up and be like, "You're giving a puppet show?"
Yeah.
No,
we could, but no. If you've come to New York and you've seen the newsstands and they now just sell like candy and sodas and things like like the silver boxes that are just on the sidewalk. That's what we're in. Ours is just green.
Heck yeah.
And it's great. And so people can just walk up to us and they wave, especially if they're like repeats or whatever, they'll wave at us. Well, we are sitting there and this woman speed walking by sees Mackenzie is in the booth again and just goes, "They bought your house," and just kept walking. I was like, "Hello, what?" And like, she didn't stop to explain. She didn't stop to give any kind of context. And I was like, "Are you homeless now? Like, what is happening right now?" So please give us some context of what had happened.
Absolutely.
Pre and post this moment.
I will say that the look of bewilderment on your face was absolutely incredible. It was so funny. And I was like, wait, no, I have an explanation.
I have to tell you. Yeah.
Okay, so the day before I was coming in for like the closing shift. So I was like waiting for the customers to move so I can get into the booth. And I see on the side of her backpack and the like water bottle thing, I see a water bottle that I recognize as the brand, just like a plastic non-reusable water bottle, a brand of Scottish water.
Sure.
And as I said before, my father is Scottish. And I was like, oh, perfect.
I have to know.
So I just like started chatting with her, and I was like, oh, no, it's Scotland. And a lot of times when customers come up to the booth, and usually I'm just clocking them by the accent. So sorry. My bad. Usually I'm just clocking them by the accent. And I'm like, oh, where are you visiting from? Which is also like a common question we ask at the booth anyways, because a lot of people are tourists coming in, like either just to visit New York in general or just to see Broadway shows. And that's always fun to chat with, get a sense of where people are coming from. Or, so if someone says they're from Scotland or from Florida or Massachusetts, I'm like, tell me more if we're from the same place. Which sometimes we've had weird connections like
Correct.
this. So, yeah. But then of course, because like I'm an American, they're just like, oh, Scotland. And I'm like, oh, tell me where in Scotland. And they're like, Glasgow. And I'm like, tell me where in Glasgow. Which is funny. Gotta get to like the nitty gritty of it, right?
Shock them a little bit. Yeah.
But because usually I'm like, oh my gosh, my dad's from Glasgow. Like, we're in Glasgow. Da, 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 da. And so we're chatting about that. Da, 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 da. And then I'm just like, I don't know. Let's play ball. So other context is that I'm Jewish. And so there's not many Jews in Glasgow.
Sure.
There are a chunk of Jews in Glasgow. There is a lovely community. Shout out to my family and everyone else.
Love ya.
Love you. But that means I was like, okay, we're like, my family is Jewish. Is any chance yours are? Because if this person had said yes, then I would have been like, okay, well then you definitely know my family. Like, there's no way you wouldn't.
Right.
Like, it's Jewish geography in general, or just like any other small community, everyone knows everyone kind of vibe. And she was like, oh no, but one of my good friends is. And I was like, what's your friend's last name? Just in case I would also randomly know. And so she says, I don't recognize the name, but I'm like, whatever, I'll text my dad right now. And he's like, I don't know, it doesn't sound familiar, this or that. So we kind of are just like, oh, okay, well, cool. Like, it doesn't seem like we actually have people in common. Right. And then that was that. We end the conversation, we leave. And then the next thing that happens is that I'm working with you the next day. And she comes by and says, they were trying to buy your house. And I was like, wait a second. Huh? So I think what happened was she reached out to her friend again, and was like, hey, do you know this family, who are also Jews in Glasgow? And they were like, oh, we don't know them for realsies, but we were trying to buy one of their houses. And I don't know which house, like, I don't know if that was that my grandma's apartment? Was it like one of my dad's old houses? Right. Was it one of my aunts and uncles? I don't know.
You followed up with your dad a couple times, and he still was always just like, I have no idea.
He didn't recognize the name. Yeah, I know. So.
But it was just like.
That's it.
They tried to buy your house. I was like.
It was a drive-by.
Hello?
It was a drive-by. It was a walk-by.
It was crazy.
It was very funny. And I've never had any follow-up from that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Other wild interactions that I've had at the booth. 2 different people from Chattanooga, one of which saw me in the only musical I was in Chattanooga.
Was that Sunny Run?
Yes.
which Josh is on the side of a building
I
in a
am.
massive poster for.
I
Which I love.
Hey, Chattanooga Theater Center. Love you guys.
Woohoo!
Another woman I interviewed on the show that I used to work on in Chattanooga came up and was like,
I
"Are
didn't
you
realize that
Josh?"
one.
I don't think you were there.
No.
I was like, yeah. She was like, "I work at the library. You interviewed me." And I was like, "You're so right. I so did."
That's awesome.
And then I met my husband's old voice teacher from Knoxville, Tennessee. That was probably the wildest one. It was crazy.
Well, but also there was a connection with our coworker too.
Oh yes, our coworker Brady, who did he live in Knoxville? Grew up in Knoxville? No.
We're gonna get canceled for
We
not
are
knowing
sorry,
this.
Brady. But his he worked. I know he worked at the school that my high school that my husband went to, and my his dad did some shows there, and so they worked together. And then Brady's wife, Chloe, and I went to high school together. We we didn't really know each other, but she also played soccer with my sister. It's insane.
And crazy.
Insane.
Love the world. I have a note on my phone of weird connections and run-ins.
Yes.
Which sometimes I forget to update. But for the millions of people here, and I know obviously okay, I'm in the theater sphere, so most places I'm frequenting, obviously other theater people are going to frequent, but just the amount of times I've run into someone on the platform, on the subway platform, or one time I was on the subway and I'm head buried in my phone, and the person across from me is like, "Hey," I look up and the window behind them is one of my friends from college banging on it going, and I was like, "Oh my god, hi!" And then my train goes away. It's just shit like that all the time.
Always.
I feel at least once a month.
Yes.
Or
it'll be
if not, you find something, you're like, "Oh, this person knows this person," or
yes.
Yeah, at this point now, if I meet someone in a theater context and we don't have at least 5 people in mutuals, I'm like, "Whoa.
Are you a good
Weird."
person? Weird.
Yeah.
Let's talk about now your connection to theater. You've done all kinds of things since I've known you. Fight choreography, stage management as well.
More recently,
and you got to go to the Edinburgh Fringe earlier this year. So let's start with fight choreography.
Sure.
How did you get into that? What is that like? What does that look like for you?
Well, as a child, I had a sword.
Right. We were dancing over it.
Oh my god, we have another sword story
Perfect.
before that. Also, I don't know. I think I was just an obnoxious child. But I happen to be pretty lucky, and not in general lucky as in privilege, which I also 100% am.
Sure.
And have been, and I have a lot of great things and people in my life, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
So that for context, but also I won things, and so there was an Irish pub, and they had I don't know if it was proper Kaylee, but I think it was just maybe some live music and a raffle.
Mm-hmm.
We went a couple times, and there was one time where we rolled up. I think I was probably also about 7 years old. I will get you this. I actually have this picture saved on my phone because I feel like my mom sent it recently. It is me in the living room as a very small child. We walked into a raffle, and there was a sword. And I turned to my parents and I said, "I'm going to win the sword." And they went, "Okay." And
Sure, kid.
God bless her.
Sure, kid.
Sure. Thank you. Shout out to my mom and dad for supporting me in literally everything. Love you guys. But also shout out that they bought raffle tickets. And I won the fucking sword.
How big is this sword?
Bigger than me. Can I pull up?
Please. Hold.
My phone is right.
Hold, please. We're gonna get.
For context, I'm 5'1" now, so I was a really small child. I wonder if my mom sent it recently.
I love this so much.
Thank you.
I've learned so much about you already. To BH. This is crazy.
And in all the hours we spent
right.
in the maybe
She's
it was
a
my
liar.
dad. Sorry, now I'm
Papa
I
Grace.
have to get it. He's in my phone. His dad is great because he changed his contact probably over a decade ago, and I've just left it. So it's dad is great and mom.
What does your mom think of this? Does she know?
She's been married to my dad for 34 years.
She knows. She gets it. My middle sister, Mary Caitlin, for some reason in my phone, she is Miracle Mary.
That's cute.
And I don't know why.
Where it came from.
Mm-mm. And I think it's the way it's in there. It's like Miracle Mary, Mary Caitlin. Like for some reason it's twice, and I always forget that, and so I have to type Miracle if I'm gonna text her.
Yeah. Well, I have that just in my phone. I have like my aunts and uncles. I have it as Aunt is in the first name, and I realized if you just type like Jen, it won't. So I have to be like, oh, Aunt.
Yes, it's annoying.
I think I'm gonna have to search for this later, which is really upsetting. But it is a picture of me as a really, really small child holding this massive sword, and also I was in a ghillie shirt and a kilt.
What is a ghillie shirt?
A ghillie shirt is glad you asked.
Hey, if you've ever needed a history of Scottish things,
we're legally allowed to be in the same room. A ghillie shirt is the traditional shirt. It goes with part of the like traditional Scottish dress when wearing a kilt. So it's
I see.
And the you
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what a ghillie shirt is.
Picture someone wearing a kilt. It's the shirt that they're wearing on top. Usually they're white, but not always. And usually it's left unlaced for men and laced up for women. Crazy. Okay. I was a child, so who knows what I did. Hold on.
All we know is she won a sword at a raffle that was taller than her.
So I won a sword at a raffle. And this was not a stage combat sword, and this was not a dealt down sword that you should dance over. It was a really fucking sharp sword. So also crazy that my parents let me. I think it was a raffle. I don't know if it was like a raffle. I think it was a raffle where like they picked a ticket and then you picked which object you wanted. And I picked the fucking sword. So massive shout out to my parents for letting me do that. Buying a ticket, letting me do that. And then taking it home and then also letting me hold it. It was sharp. That was a sharp sword. And my parents were like, we love you so much and we're so happy that you won this sword, but you cannot keep it.
Okay, that was my next question. Does it still exist?
It does. My uncle has it.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All of this to say is for all of you out there who aren't only children, this is what we missed out on, apparently. This right here, having parents.
Wait, you never won a sword at a raffle?
No, I never won a sword at a raffle.
Oh, okay.
We've talked about this a little bit, but what was it like being an only child? Because I was only that until I was 4, so I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
Do you have like a story? Is it like what have you learned about yourself and then meeting other people? What's that like?
Wow, I think that's like really deep, and that's crazy that you think I have those kind of thoughts.
I just want to know what's floating on.
Swords.
Swords and ghillie
shirts.
Ghillie shirts.
Yeah. Now I'm doubting myself. Do you ever like know something and then you're doubting yourself?
Absolutely. Welcome story of my life. Duh.
On tape. Now I'm like, is it a ghillie shirt?
Yeah, that's what I googled.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I keep
crazy.
thinking ghillie suit, but that's what they wear in the army to like camouflage themselves. So
Whoa, the more you know.
I'm happy to help.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. Knowledge is power. The more you know.
Whoa. I saw Wicked Part 2 last night.
And hot take, everyone.
I thought it was better than the first one.
That's wild.
And should I say my not hot take?
Yeah, please.
My not hot take is that Alpha, Fiero, and Glinda should be in a throuple.
Who agrees?
Love triangle, all touch. Thank you. Leave your comments below. Anyway, so I
clipping that immediately.
Please do.
That's the start of the episode.
Please do. Yeah. So, I mean, I need to cough again. Oh my god.
I'm sick.
I was trying not to cough in your mic.
I
Anyways,
appreciate that. That was you cleaning the microphone. There you go. Only child. What was it like? Tell me.
I mean, so I've never known anything different.
Sure.
That being said, when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want someone to play with me. My parents both worked from home, and so they were there, but I knew that they were working, so they couldn't play with me. And I was like, why can't someone play with me? And then I got to middle school, and everyone around me started complaining about their siblings, and I went, okay, never mind. And also at that point, I wasn't like, I don't know. At that point, I probably had an iPod. And then when I had an iPod Touch because I was cool. I'm kidding.
Only child again.
Privilege.
Uh-huh.
That was classist of me. Yeah. So at that point, I like was less playing games that I was like sad that I didn't have someone to play with.
Sure.
Though also I was a really big reader as a still a reader now, but like I did find ways to entertain myself.
Sure.
But I do remember that being a switch that flipped when I heard people complaining about their siblings in middle school, and I was like, okay, never mind. I don't want another one. And then but yeah, I think the best way someone else described it to me was that there's no buffer between you and your parents. And I'm very fortunate. I love them dearly. We have a great relationship. Hope you're watching, Mom and Dad. I love you. Hey. You're both great. I'm going to change my mom's contact. Mom is great.
Sorry, Dad.
No, I'll keep his. But yeah, it was just us. Mm-hmm. And then so because it's always just been us, and then also because I've always worked from home, I was in my sophomore year when I got yoinked from college in 2020.
#COVID. #COVID.
And then it was like, okay. I mean, obviously, like everything sucked, and everything was ruined, of course. But honestly, I was just like, okay, it's just me and my parents chilling in the house, watching reality TV and eating dinner together, which is like what we did already. And they already worked from home with each other, both in the house, so they were used to that. I was used to hanging out with them, so like kind of just had a good time. And I really miss them, and I keep trying to convince them to move to New York City, and they won't. And I know that they're not going to. I know that I know it's fine. It's fine. But yeah. I mean, well, I will say, speaking and back in the theme of violence, if you will.
Of course. As we should.
So sorry. So I did get stuck in Taekwondo as a kid, as well. I think what happened was, aside from the soccer drama kids split, I think they put me into ballet class, and when I was like really little, I was like, ah! And then they were like, all right, we'll try a different one, and so they put me in Taekwondo, and a lot of it I was like oftentimes one of the only girls growing up. Oh my god. Side note. We would part of like the tests or just general stuff was you would break boards, like little like wooden things, and excuse me, at my dojo in my studio you were allowed to. I went to two. At some point went to one, and then we swapped, and the second was nicer, but that was a fake one actually, but now I kind of need it for real.
Editing this is going to be incredible. I can't wait.
Anyways, so at my dojo, you were allowed to bring your own, or not just allowed to bring your own boards, but you had to bring your own boards, which I've talked to some other people, and some people were like, no, they provided them. So that you couldn't do this, which was some of the little boys in the class had their mommies bake the boards. And if you bake the boards, they got more brittle, so they would snap easier. Mm-hmm.
Boo.
No offense, Josh. Boys suck.
Boys suck. No, boys suck.
Boys suck. So, I feel like maybe that, I haven't thought about this much. Maybe this also, fuels a lot of my personality. I feel like.
I agree with that. I will support that 100%.
I didn't even finish my sentence.
What was the end of the sentence?
No, that was it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, just like being short, but also like, I feel like I had to hold my own.
Yeah. I was going to say, they probably put you in there because they were like, well, she's going to be a theater kid, so she needs to know how to defend herself until at least college, when she can find the other weird theater kids, and then they can form a group. But yeah, no, absolutely.
There you go. Taekwondo is a defensive martial art, not an offensive one. Just have to say, since I started off the segue by saying, speaking of violence, but my parents never baked the boards for me, so
good, as they should not.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
But so then I moved dojongs, and then at some point my dad started to do it with me, and so we would go on Saturdays. I think we also would sometimes they would take me during the week, but on Saturdays at least we would go, and then we get lunch after at this one Greek place called Pegasus. Which was very fun. But because I grew up with no siblings, I didn't have anyone. This is a question and I'm sure I've asked you, but I love asking people with siblings, did you guys hit each other? Like, did you physically fight? I know a lot of people.
What do you mean? Have you ever gotten an answer of no to that question?
Probably not, but I think it's interesting. Sometimes people are like, oh, we fought until this age, or like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like probably until there are 8 years between me and my youngest sibling, and so like the girls, the three little sisters, they would scream.
Would they team up against you?
Oh, no. They would like at each other. Oh, yeah.
No, but when did you guys physically lay hands on each other?
Yes.
Was there any age that stopped?
Oh, yeah. We don't do it anymore.
No, but when did you stop?
We're all adults now. We can go to jail. We probably
someone
stopped.
snitches.
I would say like when I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, we would wrestle all the time.
Yeah.
But then of course, since they're girls, they could like, ow, and I would get in trouble.
You would get in trouble, yeah.
Immediately. And I'm like, they started it.
Yeah.
Like they, yeah.
No, that's why I think it's interesting is like the gender and age dynamics of like, usually the older one would get blamed.
Oh, yeah.
And then, or then sometimes people would be like, the boy would get blamed. Or like, I've also heard some people who were like an older sister who would be like, yeah, my brother and I would used to fight until he like grew a foot taller than me. And then I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But yeah, so I didn't have anyone to hit growing up. Sad.
So, Taekwondo.
So, well,
Defensively, they have to start it.
So my dad and I would wrestle.
So we just attack.
We
our
would just
dads.
hit. We would spar.
Got
we
it.
would spar. That and my cousins who lived in a different state. So whenever we would see each other, and so also for context, I'm 5'1". Both my parents are 5'2". Everyone on my dad's side of the family is short. He's one of 4 and is the second tallest. So, and then on my mom's side, she's short, but everyone else is tall. So like, oops.
She did not get those genes.
She did not get them. So my cousins are tall. They're both like I think 6 foot or something around that time. And so I learned very quickly that I
go for the knees.
Oh.
Go for the knees.
No, I just needed to get them on the ground.
Oh, or that. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I didn't have the advantage anyway. And also they weren't I don't think they would ever really were really fully using their full strength to me because I was, one of them is my age, is like 2 weeks older than me, and the other one's 2 years. But I looked like a shrimp. It's never been my strong suit. But I realized real quick, you got them on the ground, you have a better chance. And so I would drag them down by their hair.
Oh.
And then sometimes I would visit them and one of them had buzz cut and I would be like, fuck!
No!
I can't drive it down. Are we allowed to curse on here?
Sure.
Fuck! But yeah, so my dad and I would spar.
Incredible.
And he got all the way. I got my black belt. He got his black belt at the second dojang that I was at, which was where my dad got his black belt. Then I think when I got mine. Yeah. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, if there's a black belt present that day, you have to spar with them. Like, so if there's 3 of them that happen to be there because they happen to come to a test that day, or they're your friends and want to come, you have to spar with them. So there is a video somewhere that was from someone's, I don't know, little camera,
potato phone back in the day. Yeah.
No, probably
or video, like a digital camera.
Or like the flip. I don't know. One of those. Maybe it was just a little digital camera. But anyways, yeah, not on someone's phone. There is a video out there somewhere because I was a black belt first. Then my dad and I had to spar, and you can hear the grandmaster go, "No contact."
Then how do you spar?
Because some of them were it was contact with padding, and some of them were no kind of. I don't know. I'll find the video for you.
You're just like, ha, like.
Like, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't. Now that I'm saying it, I don't know really.
It sounds silly, but sure.
Years.
That's sweet,
but
I
anyways,
guess.
we had to be encouraged not to actually hit each other.
Sure.
And I think in the same way that your sisters would go, ow. My dad has for years, will go, elder abuse.
And does that make you stop or go harder?
Oh, you think it makes you stop? I just go child abuse.
Haha.
Don't clip that. Yeah. He just screams elder abuse in his Glaswegian accent.
Can you give us a taste of what that sounds like?
I can say a couple words.
Give us, yeah.
Just definitely. Yes. Absolutely. Elder abuse. Oh, there you go.
There it is. That was great.
Elder abuse. Anyways, no, that wasn't very good. That wasn't very good. I can do. I cannot tell you. This is another important, I think, facet of my personality. I obviously do theater. I'm an actor. Loser.
Loser like me.
And yeah, one half of my family is Scottish. I can't consistently do a Scottish accent to the point that I could be like, oh, put me up for a part or list it. And don't worry, every single Scottish member of my family, blood or not, is like, really? You can't do that? You're an actor. Thanks. Don't worry.
Appreciate you.
I'm well aware and also embarrassed.
Any other questions?
So yeah, so anyways, yeah, I think that was maybe another. I did not spar with my mother. She did not do taekwondo, but I think that definitely influenced being an only child.
Yeah.
Didn't have another child to hit your dad.
Elder abuse. It's great. It's great. Speaking of you doing theater, you got to go to the Edinburgh Fringe.
I did go to Edinburgh
this
Fringe.
summer. Tell me a little bit about the show that you worked on and what was that experience like?
Oh my God. Well, growing up, so my parents both, my mom's from here, but they both lived they lived together in Glasgow for 7 years before.
Okay.
Moving to Florida and having me. And so both of my parents then have been there for a while. And so I grew up always hearing about the Fringe. So Glasgow is about like a 1 hour train ride from Edinburgh. And so they'd be like, yeah, you just like go in for the day and see a show. So like years of my life, I heard about the Fringe.
Right. And
like how cool it was and this and that. And then at some point I've been lucky enough to go to Glasgow a good handful of times. And mostly in the summer, exclusively in the summer.
Sure.
Maybe. I think almost.
'Cause no school.
No, maybe one. Yeah. Oh, I have another.
Perfect.
Wow. I really was like, I don't know any stories.
Here we are, almost an hour in.
We have TV to watch.
I've used like one of my prompts. It's great. You're crushing it. This is the kind of interview I love. Yeah.
Put a pin in. I have a bat mitzvah story.
Bat mitzvah.
So
I've been to Glasgow several times.
Been to Glasgow several times, lucky enough. A couple of times I've been in August, and so I think 2 different years. I went to the Fringe as a spectator. So I was like, I booked some tickets. It's great for not booking tickets in advance, but I was like, I'm a psycho, so no.
I'm not doing that.
No, I was like, I'm gonna look. There's a digital catalog, as well as a physical one. Which when I was my year then, it was literally like this thick.
Yeah.
This year there were about 3,800 shows.
Whoa.
Over 3 weeks. Yeah, it's crazy. But I like would take the train in from Glasgow for like a day, see a couple of shows, take it back. Did that a couple of times. Did one weekend with my cousin. One weekend I sent her a Google Doc with all of the shows that I wanted to see, and I said, you pick from this list which shows you want to see, you tell me which ones you want to see, and any of the ones that you don't want to see with me, I'll just go a separate weekend by myself. We did that, so I had a decent idea of what it was like to be an audience member, and how some of it worked. And my uncle had said to me, as soon as I moved to New York, not even that. So I graduated college and I'd lived 1 more year with my parents in Florida before moving to New York. And I think it was like pretty much after I graduated, he was like, you should do the Fringe. And I was like, it's June and the Fringe is in August and you have to start preparing pretty much a year before. It's not happening this year. And then another year went by and I was like, it's not happening. And then September of last year, so 11 months in advance, I was like, fuck it. We ball. And one of the things is that, so I was with my parents and I was like, should I do the Fringe? And they were like, the fuck? Of course. Dumbass.
Is that a question?
They didn't, not a direct quote. My parents would never swear. I didn't learn my potty mouth. I should stop. Anyways, cut that out. I'm not slandering anyone here. They were like, obviously. I was like, you're right. And lucky enough, so one of the perks or aspects of Broadway Up Close is that because it's only theater people, if you get like a regional contract or a contract of some kind, you can do the contract. And I don't know why I'm telling you this.
I don't,
but I know. Wait, do you know that one meme of Pedro Pascal going, and you should know this too. Love him, love that man.
Listeners and viewers at home, you should know.
You should know. So I was like, oh, cool. So I went to our boss and I was like, hello. If I did the Fringe, can I come back? He was like, yeah. And that's part of the thing. Is just that all of the people there are in the theater industry, and so this is part of it. So
99.9% of all people that work there are in the theater industry. I wasn't until 2 months ago.
Okay, you are. Don't ruin our. You have to cut that out for branding purposes. You work in the theater now.
I work in the theater.
So,
yeah.
Wrong. Anyways, and then the other job I work at a performing arts center that is a rental house, has clients come in, and it's where you pick up shifts. So I also talked with that boss, and I was like, hey, if I left for the month to do a fringe, he was like, yeah, just let me know and just like don't pick up the shifts. I was like, great, okay, cool. So it's like, all right, I have I am in a place right now where job wise I can take this time off. Financially, I'm able to swing it. By not working for that month, fuck it, we ball. But I'm not a writer, and I don't plan to be. I love theater. I love the word theater maker, but like I'm not a creator. Sure. With the exception of fight choreography. But that feels I just don't write. So I was like, okay, someone has to write. So I texted my friend, Grace Tomlin Marca. I love you so much. I need to text you to hang out. I will do this after this.
Realizing right now.
Realizing right now. So we did I went to college. I got a BA in theater, and there were show opportunities, but there was almost no acting classes. And then there was a lot of design classes, but almost no opportunities to design. Excuse me. And I do enjoy other elements of theater, but my main one, I was like, I want acting training. So I studied abroad in Connecticut. What do you say? I haven't heard you say it so long. Stupid.
Stupid. That's so stupid.
Sometimes your voice pops into my head with that.
Wow.
That, and you go,
Bless.
For sure.
For sure.
Which then when I met Travis and I heard him say the same things, I was like, oh my God, I don't know who did it first.
Him. Definitely him. I'm one of those people
so
that will
cute.
like pick up things from people. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I love that. So, stupid. But, yeah, so it was through the study abroad office. And so it was a study abroad semester
in Connecticut?
Yeah. It was a 1-semester theater program called the National Theater Institute at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center in Waterford, Connecticut. And it was through the study abroad. It was listed on their website as 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I looked at that and I went, if I still like theater after this, I'm going to do it for realsies.
And here we are. So you enjoyed it to some
extent.
So
I survived. Yeah, so Grace was one of there was like 30 people that semester. Grace was one of my cohort, and she was in for the acting program. There's an acting program, a directing program, a writing program, but you were you had to do a little bit of everything in it. But I think she's kind of stopped, or she's not pursuing acting in the same way anymore, but is pursuing writing more heavily. But yeah, so I just really liked all of her writing. And a lot of her work has this like little dark undercurrent or spin to a lot of things. She's a very like smiley, and I feel like in that semester maybe kind of quiet. I feel like less so now, and I don't know if that was just like I know her better or if it was just like the semester. Also, we were all in masks because it was it was spring 21, so like we got our vaccines like in our spring break, which we were told was going to be 4 days, but it was actually it was like 5 p.m. on like Thursday, and they were like, all right, here's your spring break starting at 5 p.m. And then it was that night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning.
Incredible.
And I like got someone, like 4 people had a car, and I got one of them to drive me to Walgreens, and we like all got vaccines.
Yes. You had a 2.5 day spring break. Incredible.
Would I do a 7-day-a-week program again? Probably not.
No.
Was it right for me at the time? Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm going to cough again just
Please.
for fun. You're welcome.
Keep a count, everyone.
That's horrifying.
Take a shot every time.
Oh, be hammered. Take a sip of water. Just hydrate.
Please.
Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Okay, yeah. So Grace and I worked. But yeah. I feel like, she's one of the loveliest people I know. And so then I feel like at first glance, you're just like, oh, I'm sure her writing is all like rainbows. But it's actually got this like little fucked up current to it, which I like exactly the flavor that I like. So I just really enjoyed all the work that I saw with her. I enjoyed working with her, and also she's my friend. We got along, so I was like, okay, if there's anyone who I would like, be like, oh my god, write a play so we can go to Fringe. But also like, who do I think that I can work with for a chunk of a year, and then let's see each other every day for we've already done that,
right,
and not kill each other and really enjoy. And I was like, this is perfect. So I texted her and I said, hey, haha, what if you wrote a play with violence in it that I could choreograph, and also want to be in it. And we went to Fringe, and she texted back, I need a big project to work on. And I was like, are you serious? Because I'm serious if you're serious. And she said, yeah. And I said, okay. And she sent me a couple of ideas, and she sent me 2 ideas on an email. And I was like, these are both great. This is the one I think I like a little more, but like I'm happy with all of your writing, so I'd be happy to do whatever you wrote. And also we chatted a little more because we were like, okay, the minimum, probably a 3-person play. We wanted to keep it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Fringe is so expensive.
Yeah.
So we were like, bare minimum 3-hander. Great. So and then some time passes, and then we were kind of like, we should talk about this again. And then I was like, are you just to reconfirm, like, for realsies? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, great, I'll start doing shit. So if the way that it works is that you find a venue, you sign a contract with the venue. It is like a venue through the venues
like partner with.
I don't know. I guess they're like registered with the Fringe. Once you sign your contract with the venue, then you register your show with the Fringe, and you like upload all the information, and then they go to turn to your I think you upload your contract, or the venue uploads a contract. They like verify with the venue that you have in fact been accepted. So you have to do the venue first. If you go on the website and you download the PDF of all of the Fringe venues, it is over 200 pages with multiple venues in it. So, because the way people will say venue as far as sometimes the space, well, maybe as they say the space, there's like 200 pages of spaces.
Sure.
There's less venues. There's a lot. So like our venue, Greenside, whoop whoop,
hey,
had 2 locations, and within my location there was maybe 10 different theater spaces.
Oh.
So there's hundreds. And also the way it works is it just takes over the city.
Yeah.
So the building we were in is a building that houses the Royal Society of Edinburgh. And we had choreographed some stuff where a couple times we lean on the wall. At one point I lean on the wall, and one point someone else strangles someone up against the wall. Like they have them, but she backs into the wall, which I choreographed that. And then we got there, and walls aren't solid. It's bookshelves. We're in a little library room that they've just taken all the furniture out and put black masking up because we like are padding it. And I'm like, all right, let's change that choreography.
Figure
Don't do
something
that.
else out.
So we didn't lean on anything. Because there was one part that had a fireplace, so it was just a hole, and it was like, all right, just don't touch the masking. But basically,
stay away.
Basically, yeah, it was just like this little room with Marley taped down on the floor and trusses for the lighting and black masking. Our space, the stage was 8 foot by 8 foot, and which is small.
Yeah, teeny tiny.
It was a corner stage, so it was like a little diamond with the audience here with an aisle, and then 34 seats, and in the 34 seats there was the tech table with the lighting booth or lighting board and soundboard, and so you were just sitting next. Usually the playwright would just sit next to our lighting designer, but I like opened up that PDF and I was like, holy fuck.
Where do I start?
But I knew kind of what venue we wanted. We wanted something small, one for price, but also this for 3 people. We didn't need a big stage, but also for the story we were telling. This was like the vibe I picked up from reading the script and then confirmed with Grace is you want something intimate and in your face for this, so that you get the full kind of experience. Yeah. So I thought to myself, I have emails in my inbox from years ago from when I went to the Fringe, because I was the one, like, when I saw shows by myself, but also when I saw shows with my cousin, I was the one that bought the tickets. So I have a digital record of all of the shows that I saw in all of the rooms that they're in. And I have little pictures in my head of what those rooms were.
You are so smart.
Stop. I was a co-valedictorian in high school.
I hate it here. How many kids were in your graduating class?
69.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay.
Hey, I worked.
You worked really hard. I'm sure you did.
Actually, hey, me and the co-valedictorian, they put a cap sidebar, massive sidebar, unrelated to the Fringe.
We'll go back to the Fringe, promise.
I think it was sophomore year or something. They like put a cap on how many APs you could take in a semester each year. So like, I think it was maybe like 1, 3, and 4 or something, then freshman year, that kind of stuff. But me and this one kid, the two of us had started, I don't know if this is across the country or just in Florida as far as like math, but it was like the very strict thing of math. We started it 2 years early, and most people would start at 1 or no years early. And so we had an exception so that we could take AP math. We could take extra APs. So actually, we were the only two competing against each other because we had an extra AP. So therefore, in the GPA, it was the only one.
I see.
This is so dumb.
I
but
see.
actually, yeah, I had a exception made for me to take an extra AP, and none of it matters.
Nerd.
Obviously. Yeah, dude. I won a sword as a child. On purpose.
I wanted it.
Okay, so the Fringe. So
The Fringe,
I then was like, okay, great. Made a list of the venues that I thought were appropriate, looked into each of the venues, figured out how money works.
Tough. That's a hard
They didn't
one.
teach me that in AP. In AP, whatever. They don't teach finances, kids, or home ec. And that's ruining our children.
We've lost it, everyone. We've lost it.
Give them swords and financial literacy and domestic labor education.
Domestic labor education.
Yeah.
What a
Home ec.
sentence. AKA home ec.
Okay, so
You're going
what
through
we're
your
saying-
emails.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So figured out, and then a lot of the venues who are quite larger have an application. All this is on a roll for a majority of it. It's like a rolling basis. There's a rolling basis with the registration for Fringe as well. So there's various deadlines. At some point there's an early bird discount. At some point there's not. At one point there's like in the first iteration of being listed on the website. So your show could be up on the website earlier. I think there was 2 rounds of that or something like that. So I should have started all of this earlier. For sure.
We live, we learn.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I learned so much. I would be so much better at producing a second Fringe show. Anyways. But because that, then also they're accepting things on a rolling basis just because they're trying to, I don't know, some venues want different things. There's one venue that actually this one gets built for the Fringe. I'm pretty sure. Don't fact check me on literally anything I say in this, please.
We're just lying the whole time.
And theater. When I went, I was not lying when I said that Alpha Glinda and Vera should be a thruple. You can quote me. That's not a fact check.
You can.
It's a hardcore belief.
Quote.
It's not a fact.
Mackenzie Grace.
Put my name on that. Anyways, there's one that's like a circus hub, and so it's like several circus tents on like grounds and stuff. So like those, obviously, if we applied and we're not a circus show, they'd be like, go fuck yourself. So like you can get rejected as well.
Sure.
So yeah, and also then so the Fringe is 3 weeks, but you can run for one. You can run for just the first week, just the second week, just the third week, the first 2, the second 2, all 3. We were like, we're going to do a full run. If we're going to do this, we're going to do a full fucking run. So also then they're trying to, if you're like, hey, I want to run for 1 week, they're also trying to piece together their schedule, the same time slot that they can get you in for the first week, but this show in for the second 2 weeks. So But some of them are big third-party ones, and it's just like, we'll get back to you, we get a lot of requests. And I was like, okay.
Cool.
But then Greenside had a thing on their website, and it was like, just fill out this form to contact us. And I was like, okay. And then they emailed me back, and it was like, let's just set up a Zoom. And I was like, yeah, 100%. Because it's like 2 people who mainly run it, who were very lovely, and it was great. Like, I just like actually talked to a real person and Zoom instead of just like submitting an application. And I was like, I don't know when. Like, I think by the time we settled that, then, which happened fairly quickly, like, I think I had applications to other ones, but I was like, I'm not going to wait around. I'm going to go with these guys. So the way it works is you purchase this time slot. And for Greenside, it was an hour and 10 minutes. And that is your get in, that is your show, and that is your get out.
Oh.
Hard deadlines for everything.
Because there's another show.
There's another show.
Whoa.
Right after. That's why there's 3,800 shows, because there's hundreds of little spaces. And there's time slots throughout the entire day. Like, there are some shows that will be at like 9 in the morning, not as many. And there are shows that will be going into midnight or 1 in the morning. So it's your get in, show, and get out. And so I was like, hey, Grace, so this show needs to be 50 minutes.
Thanks
so we had
much.
we had it listed as, you got to pick, you got to choose. So we listed ourselves as 10 minutes get in, show, 5 minutes get out.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the get in, we get to warm up, we check the lights, that kind of stuff. We also did fight call.
Oh, this is including you guys.
What do you
I
mean?
just thought you meant the audience getting in.
Oh,
This
no.
was
House opens a minute before. And those
Copy.
bitches file in. And then we start. No, it's like, it is new. I'm sorry. Some of New York theater would shit itself.
I'm blown away right now. Holy cow.
Yeah, dude. I just did a show at, another show, and we started late all the time, mostly because we were holding for audience members sometimes.
Sure.
We did a lot of late seating, but we were like, there's like 10 people that are late. Not at the Fringe. You can also have a late seating policy. We were like, yeah, bring them in. But the door is like, so at some points I'm standing in front of the door because the only off stage was the back. So because it was the stage and then the aisle. Which is fun. And also then when you get in, we were like, we're just standing in the hallway next to them, and we're like watching the audience file in, and you're like,
hey, everyone.
So that was ours. So like there are other spaces that, it's like there's the circus one, which is like there's a couple of those that are like in the round or like thrust stages. I mean, there's literally anything you want. There's literally things in shipping containers. I've seen a couple shows in shipping containers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cool. And excuse me. There's also the free Fringe, there's also just like shows in pubs and restaurants and bars. Those, tend to be, there's a lot of stand-up. Those tend to be stand-up and musicians rather than theater shows, but not exclusively. So there's a whole variety. There's also there are like some proscenium theaters that are like clearly year-round theater proscenium, and so some of those shows, or like the circus ones, was a really big audience. They did have house open before that, but this is how our one worked. Yeah. So we were like, okay, fight call, and then as soon as we like swept the stage, fight called, the lighting designer checked 2 lights.
Right.
We like did a little like we did our little like tap in, and then the venue person was like, good, and we were like, good, and then we did a show, and then you left immediately. So, and we were like, all right, so we're also, because also either if you want a set, you either have to fly it over or you have to buy it there. So we
Sure.
We were like, our set is going to be 2 chairs and a box that, Grace, you still have my box.
This is why she's going to text you as well.
We have to hang out, and I'll see you in my box. It's just like one of the fold up little storage cute things, because we had like a small amount of props.
Sure.
And then if they were used on stage and then there's no backstage to yeet them,
right,
we just shoved them in the box. So we were like, let's go to IKEA. So the Grace and I, so I did a lot of the producing stuff while Grace was writing the play, and then once we were really in the swing of rehearsal / then once we were on the ground, Grace was doing the heavy producing stuff because I was acting in it, and then also doing the fight. So, we were like, you guys do whatever. We're going to go to IKEA. And we went to IKEA in Edinburgh. We took the bus. We bought 2 chairs. I bought like one of the rainbow bags that I use as my laundry bag.
Yes.
And a lint roller. And we ate lunch. And then we Ubered to the venue for our 90 minutes of tech. How do you feel about that, Josh?
Whoa. To like, for context, tech on a Broadway show takes 3 weeks.
I don't even know. I don't know. Ask Travis.
Yeah. Hey, anybody. Holy cow.
So, but here's the real kicker. It basically. So when we were finding people, for all the people we worked with are wonderful and I love them and work with them again. But we were like, okay, so for lighting design, not only do we need someone who like is a lighting designer, but we need someone who like can just do this shit like.
Right.
And so we got one of our friends, Kier, who has, I think, exclusively designed for like Fringe things, like other Fringe things. And so like everything he's done has like been like that. So we're like, perfect. So yeah, it was basically 90 minutes of programming. And then we had 3 previews that were listed as previews, which also you get to control your prices, but they have like a recommended stuff.
Sure.
So they recommended doing half off for that. That's pretty standard across the Fringe. So we did. And we just had like several tech things fuck up because we got 90 minutes to program lights. And we like begged them. Grace emailed and was like, can we please, we've had some like these things have gone all fucked up. Can we please have more tech? And they were like, yeah, you want to come in at 10 a.m. on Monday? We were like, yeah, we do. Do
I want to? No. Will I? Yes.
Will we? Yeah. I remember, I don't know what we...
Were you mic'd?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Oh my God. You didn't have time. And also, like, no, we were...
There were 34 people in the audience.
Yeah, like, sometimes, like, the audience, like, if you sat in the front row and kicked your legs out, you would be in a space. There was one time a really tall person sat in the front, and he had his legs kind of where I was going to be. And it was something where I was moving around, like, crawling around on the floor. And I usually like put my hand in. I smacked my hand so hard next to it it made him move his feet. Because I was like, good, we're going to stand there in a second.
Wow.
Yeah, anyways.
What a crazy, and that was the month of August.
It was month of August. It was, it was August. Yeah, and we, and our time slot was 5:20 to 6:30. So our show was at 5:30. Which was what I wanted, because morning shows tend to be children's shows.
Sure. Or
not, but you're going to have a harder time getting people.
Absolutely.
And I did not want an 8 p.m. or later slot because at those points, a lot of the really big shows are going. Like all the circus shows were like at night, unless they were children ones. Yeah. Some of the ones, shows that would tend to be really big would tend to be later. And I was like, I don't want to compete with that. So I feel like that was a really good sweet spot. And I think one of the best things or the coolest things, I mean, no, everything was cool. Was like while I'm working here, when I do a show here, I'm still working my other part-time jobs. And so, getting to experience just doing a show. I woke up, I did a show. And I thought, maybe I'll see something. No, so we, as part of Greenside, you get a little lanyard, a little pass, and then you got to get into all of the other Greenside shows for free on standby. Cool. So, which was awesome. And then I was like, I am also going to, this is what I have, this is how I'm going to choose to spend my money. I was also like, I look through that digital program so many times. I just found things, and then I would be like, hello, 4 other people I live and work with. Do you want to see this show with me? How is that this? What about this today? This? So saw a couple things by myself. There was 3 of us that kind of went to a lot together. Some of us with all 5 of us. Some of us with like the Greenside ones, which was really fun, was like you just like got to know them because they were around. Right. And so we stayed in the town next over in Queen Margaret University specifically opens up there. This is, I feel like, recent, the past couple of years. Because housing is everything gets crazy expensive at the Fringe. And while a lot of prices and food and stuff looked it visually, I was like, oh, that looks like a good price. It's not because of the conversion. It was like about 133 to the dollar. What, I don't know if I'm saying that
Sure.
right. It whatever. So it was basically equivalently as expensive as New York, if not a little more sometimes. But yeah, so they opened up their dorms for Fringe artists specifically, and it was like a hallway of 6. And I thought we were just gonna have a just a random person. Did your camera die?
How sad.
I guess, is this telling us to shut up?
Well, everyone, the rest of this will just be audio. Great.
Perfect. Now I can finally run around in the room in circles like I wanted to this whole time.
I can set my phone up real quick and record the rest of it on my phone.
Up to you.
What time is it? It's 1:50.
We have to watch TV. Your series going. Should we just stop?
Finish the story, and then I've got one more question to ask you.
Okay. I didn't even get to my bat mitzvah. Okay.
Or we can do this again and have more stories to tell.
I think we should have a part 2.
Great. Let's do a part 2.
Okay, let's do a part 2. We've been wanting.
Great.
Yeah,
do you
what's
want to
up?
finish the story, or can I just ask my last question?
No, it's fine. It was just like I could just keep yapping, so don't worry about it. Please ask your question. What's up?
The question I'm asking everyone, why do you think storytelling is so important?
Oh my God, it's not.
I hate it all, and yeah.
No, that's a great question, Josh.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, of course. I lied earlier. Because I love lying.
She does.
Except for when I did not lie about thinking that Alpha, Glinda, and Fiora should be in a throuple. You can quote me on that. No, of course storytelling is important. I think there's a couple of things. I think I think one aspect is connection.
Sure.
This is how we communicate. This is how we can connect to others. I think telling stories and the entertainment factor can be a connection, like just making someone laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But also if someone is like, oh, I've lived through a similar experience, and they feel like they're not alone. Also obviously you learn things. You can learn from your own mistakes, but you can learn from other people's mistakes. I do also think there's this I think have you listened to Normal Gossip?
Yes.
Yes,
okay. We've talked about this.
Yes, because they ask like, what's your relationship to
Mm-hmm.
gossip? And I love the word gossip. I think sometimes I think there's a broad definition of is the microphone going to die too?
No, I don't
my
think
pants.
so. I don't think so.
There can be an interesting definition of gossip, of whether that's just like silly stuff or rumors. But also I think sometimes what gets classified as gossip to try and demean it is like serious shit when talking about people who are bad and have done bad things, and then passing that information along to protect people so they're able. This is, I feel like, so deep and dark and twisted. But I feel like sometimes that kind of storytelling gets classified as gossip in a derogatory way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and sometimes obviously that also gets gendered, but with it being associated with women. But I think then that's another important aspect of gossip or storytelling, whatever it gets called as, is also learn stories that teach people lessons, but also stories that allow people to protect themselves from people who do harm, whether it's a specific person or just like even thinking about. No, I don't know why I'm like really going for it.
No, I've never thought about it like that though. Like that is storytelling in a way to protect people. Storytelling is a way that you can like you share your story so that other people don't fall into whatever trap, prey to something that you have, and you are. Yeah, I've never thought about it that way before.
And I feel like specifically in something like grooming, if there's a whether it's a story or if it's storytelling and we're just sitting on the couch, or it's in a movie or TV show and you see, and then you're like, oh, these are what red flags are. They're not, and there's this person in my life who kind of emulates that. You can maybe be like, oh shit. I think that's really a really important aspect of storytelling and why
Yeah.
In storytelling in general, I'm just
Absolutely.
waffling.
Absolutely.
But like in media as well, as far as what stories get told.
I love that.
And also tradition.
Tradition.
You know, I've never seen Fiddler.
Me either. Me either.
We should watch that.
My main connection to it is the episode of Gilmore Girls where the elementary school is doing it and Kirk plays Tevye.
I watched some of Gilmore Girls, didn't get that far. Sorry, canceled. So I know that you can't see right now because we talked so long that the camera died, but Josh actually just pulled out a knife and is threatening to kill me.
I also need you to know that Mackenzie has fully laid down. Just laid down on the couch that you saw us sitting on.
Yeah.
And this is where we will stay for the next, she has to leave in like 45 minutes.
I do.
So we're going to go watch TV. Mackenzie,
Speaking of storytelling.
How can people follow along with you
Don't.
and all of the...
No, I'm kidding. No, stop.
Keep listening.
My Instagram handle, which I'm sure will get tagged, is Big Mac _Little Mac.
So good.
My middle school boyfriend, we're both gay. My middle school boyfriend came up with that, and I stuck with it. But
Incredible.
Mac spelled MAC. Yeah, Instagram. I also have a website, which is MackenzieDGrace.com. Oh my God, that's a story for another time. Put a pin in that.
Part 2.
For part 2, I'll tell you a story about website URLs. Yeah, that can be it. Hit me up.
Please.
Or come by Broadway up close if I'm in
Yes.
Times Square. I don't know why I keep looking to the camera.
It's gone.
Still.
They're not there. Anything you buy from Broadway Up Close was handmade by one of us.
Correct.
There are
Unless
several
it's one of
us.
our collaborations.
Right, which we also have. So come
True.
check us out.
But yeah, you might roll up on us assembling magnets or ornaments or stuff.
Very cool.
But that's actually where I'm going later today.
Hey, Mackenzie.
Yeah,
thanks
what's
for
up?
sharing your stories.
Oh my God, stop. Thanks for listening to me. Yeah,
was
that was
great.
crazy.
Stay tuned for part 2, everyone.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Wait, I have one more thing to say.
Tell us.
Alphabet?
And stop recording.